Hello and welcome to the big picture. The BJP-led Maharashtra government has apparently proved its majority. The BJP, which has 121 MLAs in the 288-member assembly, was asked by the governor to prove its majority when he had invited Devendra Fadnavis to form the government as the single largest party. The NCP, which has 41 members, had unilaterally offered to support the BJP even before it had decided its leader. The talks between the BJP and Shiv Sena to reforge an alliance failed. It was, however, felt that with NCP offering support, BJP would not have any problem proving its majority. Yesterday, however, there was a twist in the tale when the speaker refused to allow division of votes and declared that Fadnavis enjoys a majority after a voice vote was taken. This has raised questions about the legitimacy of the vote and whether the speaker was within his powers to do what he did. And in the light of Bommai's judgment, whether the speaker's action can stand scrutiny. To discuss this, I have with me Sheshadri Chari, BJP leader, Sanjay Nirupam, Congress spokesperson and former MP, K.N. Bhat, senior advocate, Supreme Court, who was the originator of the S.R. Bommai's petition, which led to the landmark judgment in 1996, PDT Achary, former Secretary General Lok Sabha, and Vinod Sharma, political editor, Hindustan Times. Welcome to all of you. Mr. Chari, a huge criticism from the Congress, Shiv Sena, and also from the some members of the community outside politics also, saying that this is not a legitimate vote and there needs to be another vote to prove the majority.
No, I don't think this criticism holds any water because this is a legitimate vote. The speaker has decided. The speaker has exercised all the powers that are given to him under the constitution, and it was decided by the voice vote. This is not the first time in either in assembly or in any parliament that majority is being decided by voice vote. It is a normal procedure and a normal practice unless there is a specific demand for a division which has to be made in a specific form, in a format, which was not done.
So
immediately after this, there was a scuffle. The Congress members ran to the governor. The Shiv Sena people walked out, in fact. So in such a situation, what is the method available for the speaker to carry forward the whole assembly session? He has to take the cognizance of the situation by voice vote since he has been decided. And moreover, if you look at the figures that are available to us, which is no secret, there is no secret that BJP is the single largest party. No other combination becomes the largest party. Shiv Sena wanted to sit in the opposition.
That is why the
Shiv Sena wanted to sit in the opposition, which they have very rightly done. So there ends the matter.
So you think that the inability of the opposition to seek a division at the right time was the only reason why this voice vote was taken?
No, if the opposition, all other parties, all other non-BJP parties, there are only three of them, Shiv Sena, NCP and Congress. They all could have come together, told the speaker that, look, even if it is by voice vote, we want division. And then there is a procedure to call for division.
So you think
nothing was done. The NCP declared that they are supporting the government. They are supporting the BJP. Therefore, the numbers are crystal clear. There is no issue of any criticism.
Okay, Sanjay, is it the failure of your members in the assembly not having sought a division at the right time? Is that the reason why this has led to this kind of a situation?
I don't think so, because trust vote or the vote of confidence motion is a basically constitutional liability or responsibility of any government. And when this motion is moved, usually when the government is having a majority, it is passed through the twice vote. But everybody knew in this world that BJP was not having adequate number. BJP was in minority. And we were aware of the fact that one single party has unilaterally supported this government. Now, when the motion was moved by one member from the BJP, Congress members, they demanded for the division of vote. After that, even Shiv Sena member, they went to well and said that we want division of votes, but speaker was not ready to listen to that. And in the commotion, that motion was passed. My point is, we are not here to defeat your government. We have accepted the verdict of the people of Maharashtra and we are ready to sit in the opposition. But what is the point in not recording, not getting it recorded? You must allow the voting to be recorded on the floor of the house, and you are not able to do it. You don't want to do it because you are trying to hide some sort of illegitimate relationship with NCP. You are taking support from NCP, but you don't allow it to be recorded. That is the problem with BJP. And that is what we were demanding for. And that is what we are going to demand for in the future also. Otherwise, this government is undemocratic. This government is unparliamentary. This government is completely illegitimate. And Supreme Court has already ordered that if any government is in minority, this government must allow for the division of vote while proving its confidence in the assembly or the parliament.
Let us test that, Sanjay, what you are saying. Mr. Achary, what is the procedure? Is it, you have been there in the Lok Sabha for decades and there have been several confidence motions and no confidence motions both. Is division of vote in this kind of a situation a necessity?
See, voice vote, let me make it very clear, is an accepted method of voting in Parliament. The world over, voice vote is resorted to take the decision of to ascertain the decision of the House. Now, in this case, exactly what happened on the floor of the House, we do not know. But the point is, I will just explain, I will just take 1 minute to explain the procedure. When a motion is under discussion, after the discussion is over, after the Prime Minister or the Chief Minister replies, then the Speaker puts the motion before the House. He will say, now, the question is that the motion be adopted. Those in favor may say aye, and then all the supporters, they will say aye. And those against may say no, and all the people who are opposed to it will say no. Then the Speaker will say, I think the ayes have it. I mean, in this particular case, ayes have it. And that is when any member in the House
can
challenge that decision by saying that noes have it. So when a member says noes have it, then the Speaker will say, okay, let the lobbies be cleared, we will have division. And 3.5 minutes are given, lobbies are cleared, and again the Speaker will repeat the same process. He will put this motion again before the House, and he will repeat the same thing.
Can I interrupt? Can I make my point in this regard?
Yes, Sanjay, quickly.
See, the interesting part is what Mr. Chari is explaining, that whenever the vote of confidence motion is moved in the House, a long discussion takes place with that motion. But in this case, there was no discussion. One member belonging to BJP stood up and just moved a motion of one line, and immediately the voting started. Voting means, but the speaker announced, whoever is against it can say no, who is in the favor say ayes.
So
I'm just explaining the procedure. I'm not going into the
motion was declared adopted.
Okay.
So it is a sort of fraud.
Here. Okay, Sanjay, thanks for explaining, clarifying that. Yes, Mr.
I'm not actually going into the merit of this issue. I'm just explaining the procedure which is followed all over, And then the Speaker will repeat the same thing. He will put the motion again and he will say, ayes have it. I mean, the other people will say no. And then the Speaker will say, I think the ayes have it. And then again, the member will stand up and say, noes have it. And then the Speaker will say division. And then the voting takes place. So this is the procedure that is followed in Parliament and also in all the state assemblies. Not only in India, but in all other countries, wherever parliamentary democracy is being practiced, this is the procedure which is followed.
As far as the discussion part of it is concerned, I know I'm a novice and I'm not an expert on all these procedures. But what happens is when there is a private member motion, it is put to vote. But when another member, especially from the opposition, proposes a resolution for no confidence motion, it is that no confidence motion where an issue is debated. And then a specific time period is given.
I don't know. I think it's,
and then at the
it
end
depends,
of
it
the debate,
depends.
at the
There
end
have
of the
been-
debate, the no confidence
no, it
motion is put
depends.
to
Even
vote.
in confidence motion, we have seen debates happening in this country.
It
all
was the
depends on the decision
constitutional
of the House.
obligation
If the
of the
Business
government.
Advisory Committee meets, and if
But
the Business
here there
Advisory
was no
Committee decides.
business
No,
advisory
but-
committee.
no,
There was
but-
no
but
There has
decision.
to be some kind of a
No,
consensus.
Mr. Achary, let us, to cut it short, you think that the division in this case, a new government has been formed, it has to prove its majority on the floor of the House. Governor has asked it to prove its majority on the floor of the House. Was it incumbent on the Speaker to ensure that the division takes place, the number gets clear?
See,
That is the question.
I will answer that question. I want to say that the Speaker, it is not the duty of the Speaker to invite members to ask for division. It is the duty of the member
Member
to ask for division, not the Speaker's duty. Speaker is a presiding officer.
Right.
And he has to go by the rules. And suppose nobody challenges it, the Speaker will proceed to the next stage and he will say that the motion is adopted.
No, the problem is that there is a controversy here. The Congress and the Shiv Sena MLAs say that we sought division. The Speaker rejected it, whereas the BJP is saying that the division was not sought. Anyway, let's get the legal point of view on this, Mr. Bhat. Mr. Bhat, what is the procedure? Does the Speaker, when Governor asks the government, the Chief Minister, to seek a trust vote and prove his confidence on the floor of the House, how did this come about and what is the requirement?
See, with the great respect to all the members of the panel, I say that the whole discussion has been centered around matters that are not very relevant. What I say is that, the concept of confidence vote is not part of the Constitution. It has just evolved after Bommai's case. Until then, you may remember, the governor will sit at home and count the heads or decide who has got the majority, either on the basis of letters or any other matter.
Right.
In fact, Bommai himself was dismissed on the basis of, not on the no confidence motion, but on the basis of some letters somebody wrote.
And the governor
And
accepted it.
in the Bommai judgment, governor accepted it. So until 1996, calling upon somebody to form a government did not require a floor test or anything. In 1996, in Bommai's case, the Supreme Court said the only method by which the governor can ascertain who enjoys the confidence of the House is through floor test. So the idea of floor test for the first time came to Indian democracy only in 1996. So in this case, the governor in Maharashtra could have said that you carry on the business as long as you want. Next time when a bill comes, whether it is passes or fails, that will be your test. If a money bill, for example, is brought before the House and the bill fails, the government has to go. And in this case, now it has become a practice, since fractured mandate is more or less an order of the day. Now it has become that, look, before proceeding further, let us just find out whether you have the confidence of the House. And instead of the governor now asks the Speaker to say that you decide. How the proceedings of the House are to be conducted is the domain of the Speaker. The governor doesn't come. Governor says that, tell me who enjoys the confidence of the House. And in this case, the Speaker adopted a procedure, and then there is nothing much to shout about, because after about a week or 10 days or whenever the assembly meets next time, there will be a bill or something will come. Defeat it if you don't like it. Government will fall automatically.
So, one
Nothing
second.
permanent.
No, Mr. Bhat, what you're trying to say is that the governor asks the Speaker to get the Chief Minister to prove his majority or not prove his majority or whatever, but he doesn't lay down the procedure in the way in which it should be done, right? Is that what you're saying?
He can't.
He can't lay down the procedure.
What is to be done in the House is Speaker's business.
And how the Speaker does it is his own business.
Speaker says that this is the position. Well, I mean, as I said, look, there is no permanent damage on account of this, either to the democracy or anything, because any time if the if the chief minister or his party doesn't enjoy the confidence of the house,
Okay.
they will be thrown out.
Okay.
They will be thrown out within the next time.
Okay, sir. I'll come back to you. Yeah,
So the whole
Vinod,
concept, what I am telling, the whole concept of a
can I
whole,
come in?
whole concept of a floor test is not in the part of the constitution. Yeah.
Okay. Sanjay, can I get Vinod Sharma and you want or you want to make a brief point here?
Okay. Okay.
I'll get Vinod and
Okay, okay.
then I'll come
Take
back to you.
Vinod
Okay.
Sharma first.
Vinod, the question is, there are two parts of the one is about the legalities of the procedure which has been involved. Mr. Achary and Mr. Bhat feels that there is nothing wrong in the procedure, and then there is the political aspect of it. There are two aspects to it.
The point is that I think that this is not as much a question of legality or parliamentary procedure. To me, it appears to be a question of propriety. In my personal view, regardless of what courts have said and what has been laid down by the Bommai case, I think that the purest form in a democracy, the purest form of saying yes is the vote. Purest voice is the vote, not saying ayes have it or noes have it. The purest voice in a parliamentary democracy is the vote. That's the voice. And that voice should have found articulation, because Mr. Bhat is right that this government has to face many votes in this house. But this was the vote which would have shown that this government survives on the strength of what nature of support. Whether it is the support of the NCP, whether it is the support of the Shiv Sena, who are the people who are opposing and supporting this government. And I think the assembly owed it to posterity and should have put in its institutional memory the breakdown of the vote on the strength of which this government survived. That's the question of propriety and morality.
And also legitimacy.
Legitimacy. And that is where the government and the speaker have failed. They have failed parliamentary democracy in that limited sense. Yes, a similar sin was committed by the Congress party on the Telangana question, where too it was a voice vote and without any telecast provisions, But there, broadly, the BJP and the Congress and the UPA were on the same page, because they both didn't seem to be coming in clash with the aspirations of the people of Telangana. So, I think that legitimacy of the government is proved by the numbers, not by the level or volume of voice in the House. I mean, it's amazing for anybody to even conceive or perceive this kind of... I've never heard of a confidence vote. I mean, I could understand if it was Rajiv Gandhi's government where the BJP had just two numbers
and
the speaker had resorted to the voice vote. I can understand that. It is a badly divided House where the ruling combined does not have a clear majority. So it did not want to be seen in the company of a party which it had been calling during the campaign as a naturally corrupt party. I call it no commitment party. You see, but I have shown greater respect to them. But, the point is that you are calling a party a naturally corrupt party and you are surviving on the support of that party. That would have given the opposition a major point of contention, a major point or a political argument which is sought to be denied. No, you can do it in many other ways, but not by vitiating the process through which you have to prove the legitimacy of your regime.
That is exactly the point.
Voice vote is a normal procedure that is followed. Voice vote is a normal procedure. The Speaker of Maharashtra did not... Listen. The Speaker of Maharashtra did not devise this method all of a sudden in the midnight.
No, that is not the point. That is not the point.
There is a provision and he went by the rule book.
No, we all accept the fact that...
He went by the rule book.
No,
the problem, as you very rightly pointed out, I don't understand why you don't want to pursue that point. The problem is not the question of rule book. The problem is not the question of legitimacy. The problem is essentially political.
Absolutely,
There are two parties, the Shiv Sena and the Congress.
Right.
The Shiv Sena wanted to prove a particular point which they are unable to prove, and as a result, they got a plum post of the opposition. The Congress, unfortunately, is neither in the ruling side nor in the opposition.
If you're talking...
And they have every right to be absolutely upset about the whole
Sheshadri,
situation.
Chari.
And that is
No, no,
what
if
they
you
are
are
doing.
Sheshadri, Chari,
one
one
second.
second.
That is what they are doing.
I'm raising a very pertinent point.
I'm going to ask him, wait. If you're going to talk of political, I was coming to the political issue of it. Vinod has made a point, as far as political issue is concerned, that here is a party which your party, throughout the campaign, maligned it, it should, short of saying that it should be thrown into India,
agreed.
Arabian Sea, all that.
accepted.
And then you're surviving
All
on that
permissible
support.
invectives.
Whatever is possible. Now you don't want to be seen along with them, but you want their support. Isn't this hypocrisy? That is the
No,
question.
we did not seek their support.
This
They are,
is-
on the other hand, they are suyomoto extending their support. And surprisingly, although we fought against Shiv Sena, even Shiv Sena is extending the support.
They have
The
not
question
extended
is
the-
not.
if
the
they were
question is
extending the
not-
support, they wouldn't
I
have
can
had any
understand.
problem here.
No, the issue
They are the
is
leading. They are now the
no,
leader of
issue
opposition in the Shiv
issue
Sena.
is they have put forward certain demands which the BJP did not accept for whatever reasons.
That's a different.
And
that's
now
a
that is
separate
why they are
debate.
sitting in the
I
opposition.
want to
Yes,
ask a
Vinod, very
question.
quickly before I go.
I want to ask a question, and with my friend Sheshadri will understand the import of it. First, I think it's your right to have a furtive relationship, an amorous relationship, politically, whatever. That's your right. In politics, this happens. But may I ask you that in Gujarat, you are making voting for local bodies mandatory. And in Maharashtra, which is an adjoining state, you are getting a government in place without a vote.
Without a vote. Yes, Sanjay.
Amazing,
Sanjay.
it's not
There's
without
a
a
limit
vote.
to dichotomy.
It is according to the rule book.
I'm only
one
politically
second.
saying this.
No, it's according to the
No,
rule
no,
book.
when it's convenient, you are saying
if
rule
you
book.
say-
When
if you say the voice
you
vote-
you don't want the
if
rule
you
book.
say the
May I
voice vote is
interrupt?
not according to the
One
rules,
second.
that is a different issue.
Okay. Yes, Sanjay. I'll come to you, Mr. Bhat.
Girish,
No, Mr. Bhat, I'll come to you. Let Sanjay
Girish.
react. I'll come to you. Sanjay?
See, first of all, voice vote is not new thing. Voice vote is not unconstitutional. Voice vote is very much part of our parliamentary practice. As Vinod has said rightly,
And-
that when a government is enjoying full majority, then voice vote is okay. This government, this particular government, the new government, is not having majority. It is very crystal clear, and we are not challenging their minority or majority. We were just demanding you have to prove on the floor of the House through the voting that how many votes you have got. And
Okay.
nothing wrong in
I think
demanding that kind of that sort of thing.
Okay.
Second point.
Yes.
1 minute. Second point. Maharashtra has got new government, and I'm very sorry to say that first day, first show of the new government is a disaster.
Okay.
If they are not able to show their number on the floor of the House, I don't think they will be able to work properly in Maharashtra.
Okay.
And it is
Well, it is there.
completely,
It will be their
they have
problem, we will see.
lost confidence
See,
of
it's a-
Maharashtra people.
No, it will be.
There is no use of pontification. The
No,
numbers
there's no
are
point.
all
Let us not
evident.
get it-
Everybody
no,
knows the
let
numbers.
us not get
If
into
you
the-
want to make a political issue, that is a different
No, no,
story.
we will not
but
get
if
into
you are not able to make a
Let me
political
get-
issue,
let me
It
get
is
Mr.
very
Bhat.
much political
Mr. Bhat,
issue.
there is a
It
political
has nothing
issue
to do
here,
with
basically.
procedure.
Mr. Bhat, Mr.
You
Bhat.
are violating the procedure.
Okay,
You have
okay,
destroyed
Sanjay.
the rule book.
Sanjay,
Yeah.
let me get Mr. Bhat in on
That's
this.
all you have done because of
Yeah,
the political
yeah.
reason.
Sanjay, let me get Mr. Bhat in on this. Mr. Bhat,
Yeah,
my question to you, regardless of what you said earlier, accepting the fact that the governor can only ask the speaker, the procedure adopted by the speaker is not an issue which the governor can take up. All that is fine. But my question to you is, as somebody who was who drafted the petition in the case of Bommai, who took the case forward, do you think that what happened in the Maharashtra Assembly satisfies the spirit of the Bommai judgment?
yes, it does. It does. Tomorrow, taking a step further from Vinod, somebody may say that there must be a secret ballot. These are all not matters left to the outside
No,
world
Mr.
at
Bhat,
all.
my
It
question is
well
not-
known that what happens
Mr.
inside
Bhat,
the house.
Mr. Bhat, my question is this: that when a
Yeah,
new
it
government,
does- it
when a
does-
new government with a
it does
questionable,
sati-
when a new government with a questionable numbers has come into being, is it not incumbent on them, as far as the people of Maharashtra who have voted is concerned, should the people not know what is the numbers on which this government is surviving? Don't you think that is something which the people of Maharashtra deserves? Forget all the politics of it.
That is not part of Bombay judgment. Bombay judgment, if the governor wants to verify who enjoys the majority, the floor test is the ideal and not what you do it on the lawns of the Raj Bhavan. That is what it has been said.
So
and now,
no, I'll accept that. But
this does not require, because
no, Mr. But my question is, don't you think that the numbers are important, as Vinod was pointing out? Don't you think that in this kind of a situation, numbers are important? That people need to know the numbers.
their color of their shirt also may be important.
No,
But there must be a limit for it. You have got innumerable chance to defeat this government.
Okay,
Innumerable
yes.
chance to defeat this government.
Okay, Mr.
And why
Let me get Mr. Achary.
When we talk about the voice vote, we should not forget that collecting the voice is not the end of it. If somebody challenges, as I explained in the beginning, if someone challenges it, that will lead to the voting, actual voting in the House.
There is a controversy about that now. The controversy is that the BJP says nobody sought division.
No,
Congress and
BJP
NCP says we sought division, we were denied. So there is a controversy as far as that is concerned. But my question to you also is, don't you think that the legitimacy of the government is more established if the numbers are made clear?
No, actually,
Forget all the technicalities, the legalities.
Yeah, forget about the technicalities and all that. I would say, is my personal opinion, that in such situations, voice vote alone is not enough. That is there. Because if you look at Article 100 of the Constitution, 100 and 189 of the Constitution, you'll find that there, it is majority of the vote. Majority of the vote. That is the concept.
Right.
And that has to be ascertained. Now, how will you ascertain majority? How will you ascertain majority? It has to be ascertained
through a division.
Through a vote which is cast by the members.
Which will... No, but
so,
now...
what I'm saying is that, of course, the rule book contains a provision about the voice vote.
Right.
So, that is perfectly a legitimate way of ascertaining the views of the House. But at the same time, what I'm saying is, since the Constitution specifically says that the majority of the vote of the members present and voting and all that, that means on certain occasions at least, the majority has to be
clear.
Has to be
Yes, very quickly, Vinod, we're running out of time.
But sir, with all respect, sir, the genesis of the Bombay case was that until that happened, the governors used to take a head count, I repeat, in the governor's house.
Yes.
Where is the count here, sir? Is there a count?
Correct.
Is voice vote a count, sir?
No,
you see, governors would take a head count. And don't you think, sir?
No.
Don't you think that... Sir, one minute.
Running out of time.
Taking any count at all.
Sir, don't you think that there is a good enough case to go to the Supreme Court and seek a further clarification on this?
That is the question. Yeah, Mr. Bhat, the question very simple.
Not necessary, because the governor was not taking count at all.
No, Mr. Bhat, my question, what Vinod asked and I also had in mind, very quickly because we completely run out of time, is there a case for anybody to go to the Supreme Court and take this further and seek a clarification on the Bombay judgment?
Anyway, I will not take it up.
You will not take it up. Okay.
I think losing case.
Would you help me take it up, Bhat sir? I'm a friend of yours.
I think on that note, we need to end that. Mr. Bhat is very clear he's not going to take up that case, but somebody else may. We will have
whoever takes loses.
Whoever
if
takes,
he's not, they are not going to get Mr. Bhatt's stature. I think the case loses.
I think
Good.
I think that this is an issue which is very interesting and needs clarification over a period of time. But because any government at the end of the day survives on the numbers, and numbers are not very clear in this case. But hopefully, as Mr. Bhat points out, that there will be several other votes which will be taken in the floor of the assembly in Maharashtra, which may decide. In any case, this has been a very interesting discussion. Thanks to all my guests, Mr. Sheshadri, Chari, Sanjay, Nirupam, KN Bhat, PDT Achary and Vinod Sharma. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue, big picture, same time tomorrow.